Hello there guys, Lewis here, and today I just want to talk about another astral projection experience I've had. I don't really know what I think about this experience. I think it's something that we shouldn't judge people, especially entities, by what they look like. Obviously we know what the astral is like, and if something feels evil, they are probably evil, but this experience kind of changed my perspective on that, and I'm going to tell you that today. So if you do enjoy this video, why not give it a like and subscribe? Right, so let's get straight into the video. So basically I was just exiting weirdly, which we normally do. When we get into the vibrational stage, we hear all these noises, blah 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 blah. Eventually I did get out of my body, but as I went into my bedroom, I don't know, I kind of just felt like I was falling. So I was out in my astral body and I kind of just like something was pulling me down. It was a bit of a weird experience. I never really experienced anything like this before, but back to the story. So where I did find myself, I found myself it was a very dark place. It was, the smell, it was horrible. It smelled like death. Even though I've never really smelled death, it just smelled something which death would honestly smell like. It was a very dark place. It was like I was just in a void, and I couldn't really see anything. I was staring into pitch darkness, and this is when I saw something like a light. It was like a blood red kind of colour, which were just coming off this entity. And as I ran to it, I wasn't really getting any closer to it, so it was just like I was running into a void. It's kind of like one of them dreams that you have when you're just running and running and running and you're not getting anywhere, like you're limited or something. But as that kept happening to me, it was weird. I kind of just jumped and my body just felt like it was going through some kind of glass, like a smash. I don't know what happened, but I felt something like just got boom, like kind of like a brick kind of feeling, and I fell down and I had a look, and it seemed like I was in the lower astral realm. There was a lot of horrible noises going on. I started hearing things like torture, and it was just horrible, just a generally horrible place. But then I saw this entity. It was on a horse. The horse had red eyes. The horse was kind of bald, and on the top of this horse you had this just thing. I can't really describe it. It's more like it's just a black shadow with red eyes. It looked really evil. It had like this black smoke coming off it. I could smell it, and it was just, all the emotions would just made me feel like, oh my god. I was like, I wanted to cry. I wanted to do all these different things. But as we kind of just stared at each other, I could see that he didn't really mean no harm, and even though that he had this very evil kind of feeling about him, it was kind of just like light encountering the dark kind of thing, the darkness encountering the light. And what I realised is that even if you are, it's like good versus evil, and obviously it's like you can both live in harmony kind of thing. You don't have to attack each other, and that's something I had to learn, because I always thought evil is always going to attack good and good's always going to attack evil, but the reality is that we're all the same. And that made me feel like more united in a way, and it made me more compassionate for all life, regardless of if somebody's evil or bad or not. But as we just stared at each other, I was going to get ready to attack, because I thought it was going to attack me, but the reality is we just stared at each other for about 5 minutes. We didn't do anything. It's like we both didn't have the will to fight or anything, and I think that's something I needed to learn, because you just have to think, because you expect when you find a negative entity in the astral, and I'm sure a lot of the experienced astral projectors will tell you this, is that due to the food chain, so to speak, is that negative entities need this energy. It's like a lot of the negative entities are very weak, and it's like they need the energy that you have to try survive. That's why they try scare. That's why they try attack you when you're in your most vulnerable state. That's what I find what happens with with when you need to astral projection and just things like that, and especially in nightmares. But it's also means that food chain doesn't always have to apply, and that you can both acknowledge each other. You can both acknowledge the darkness and the light, and you can learn things from it. And that you don't, and that in a realistic sense, that you don't have that you can live side by side. And it's about finding that balance, because the reality is, where there's good in the universe, there's also going to be the same amount of evil. And where the problems come in, I feel like, is when, on a balance level, is when there's too much of that evil. So I think it's very important that we just try to find a balance, and that experience as a whole just made me realise how important balance is. Anyway guys, I do hope you enjoy this video. Please give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!